Moving on now with our coverage of the John Goodman DUI manslaughter trial this noon.
We've had two key witnesses testify so far this morning. Let's go ahead and turn it over to our Roxanne Stein, who is leading our team coverage. She is live at the Palm Beach County Courthouse, and she is there with more analysis. Roxanne.
Good afternoon, everybody. Court is in recess for lunch, but not after four witnesses took the stand. In fact, when they broke, they were in the middle of questioning. The attorneys were questioning the fourth witness, a deputy sheriff who was on the scene investigating the night of this accident in February of 2010. But all proceedings came to a screeching halt this morning, called for a sidebar when the judge said he wanted everybody to approach the bench, and actually he had a lengthy sidebar after he said that he felt like he had been ambushed. Let's get more on this morning's court proceedings from Christina Mora, who continues our live team coverage from the other side of the Palm Beach County Courthouse. Christina?
Well, Roxanne, like you mentioned, this has already been a very impactful morning of testimony. The first person we saw on the stand was this young woman who drove by the scene of the accident. She was essentially the first person to see this crash scene, and she may have helped the defense a little bit, speaking to the fact that it was very dark that night and that when she looked over into the canal, she couldn't see anything. But that second witness really was a very crucial person to hear from. That was Lisa Pembleton. Goodman went to Pembleton's trailer the night of the crash looking to use a phone. Now, perhaps benefiting the state, Pembleton said Goodman didn't seem to be in any pain from any injuries that night. She talked about how Goodman asked if he seemed okay because he said he had a few drinks. And she told the courtroom Goodman repeatedly asked her what he should do. And she told him several times, you should call 911. Now, the defense tried to show that Pembleton has a bias against Goodman because her attorney is tied to the attorneys for the Scott Wilson family, and that's where that ambush came in. The very first question during cross-examination that Roy Black brought, there was an immediate objection by the state, and that's when that sidebar took place. The word ambush was thrown around by not only the state, but the judge, but that did all get worked out, and he was allowed to continue his questioning.
What did he say to this lady?
He said, I really effed up.
But he used the word.
Yes.
Okay.
And that he had been in an end-of-the-world accident.
Did he say anything about his car malfunctioning?
No.
Polo pony?
Oh, it wasn't a polo thing?
No.
Now, we also heard from Heather Colby, or Heather Hutchins, who is this now somewhat notorious woman. She is the girlfriend of Goodman, or the adoptive daughter of Goodman. She didn't say too much impactful stuff on the stand. She did mention that she did receive a call from Goodman that night saying that his phone might die. She also said that she and Goodman did not discuss the crash that much. And then, of course, after that, the deputy was on stand, and then now they are in a recess. But we certainly will bring you the latest on this trial. For now, Roxanne, back to you.
All right, Christina, thank you very much for your part of the coverage. Let's bring in now, for continuing coverage, our legal analyst, Michelle Suskauer, and local criminal defense attorney, Judge Colbath. Very quickly, just to button up the issue this morning with that lengthy sidebar, seemed very perturbed with Roy Black for ambushing him. Those are the judge's words.
That's right. Roy Black handed him an 11-page memorandum because Roy Black knew that this very important issue about potential bias that Lisa Pembleton may have against John Goodman would come up. Judge wanted advance notice. Roy Black said, I'm not giving you advance notice, Judge, no offense, but we don't want to tip off our adversary, which is the prosecution, as to an issue they may not already know about. And Roy Black was right.
Let's look forward to the witnesses this afternoon. Who will be on the stand after the deputy who's been in the middle of being questioned now?
We're going to hear from another deputy sheriff who came to the scene, as well as some firefighters, emergency medical workers who treated John Goodman for his injuries. What they're going to be brought on the stand to talk about is the observations. Did he smell like alcohol? How was he acting? What were his injuries? Any statements he may have blurted out? Those are some key witnesses for the state today.
Because so far, no one has said that John Goodman appeared to be inebriated that night.
Not yet. Again, there is a witness on the stand who is the first deputy sheriff on the scene. I don't believe he said that yet. I'm not sure if he had contact with John Goodman, but there are going to be some other witnesses who are going to give their observations, and they're not going to be positive for Mr. Goodman.
All right, Michelle, thank you so much for your insight. We know you're going to continue giving legal insight into this trial as it continues throughout the afternoon and on News Channel 5 later on today, and on our partner, Fox 29, starting at 4 o'clock. For the very latest, of course, you can also go online to watch proceedings. But right now, court is in recess. The judge is having a meeting right now, and there's not a real set time for them to come back into court because he is having this meeting. That's the very latest from the Palm Beach County Courthouse in downtown West Palm Beach. I'm Roxanne Stein. Now back to you in the studio.